Okay, everyone, it's happening. It's fast. It happens fast that we go live. I'm not a professional, as you can tell, but what I do is I'm a rapid transformational therapy practitioner, and I'm here to talk about anxiety. So, first of all, I was wanting to ask you a question. I was wanting to ask you if you wake up feeling dread. Do you wake up feeling dread? Do you wake up thinking, like, oh, shit, it's another day? And you really just don't want to get out of bed? Do you wake up feeling anxious? Do you wake up feeling like your palms are sweaty? Do you wake up feeling like you're not really sure what you're supposed to do? Maybe do you wake up feeling a little bit confused about the day? You don't have a clear plan. Do you wake up feeling sort of muddled in your brain? Do you wake up feeling like you really don't want to keep going because you just don't know sort of how to manage? Do you wake up in a panic? Are you someone who has heart palpitations? Are you someone who has a hard time sort of getting through the day because of your anxiety? Do you have specific anxieties around certain things, like maybe going outside or maybe taking a field trip, getting in your car, doing errands? Are you having a hard time making decisions? Is it hard when you're at the supermarket making decisions because you're too anxious? Are you worried about making a mistake? Are you worried about making the wrong decision? Do you feel breathless? Is it hard for you to take a deep breath? Is it hard for you to calm down? These are all signs of anxiety. You may have generalized anxiety disorder, or you may have situational anxiety where it just sort of crops up in certain situations. But I'm here to say that all of those things are totally understandable. I've gone through those things myself, so I totally understand. But that's not the real problem. The anxiety is not the real problem. The panic attacks aren't the real problem. The dread in the morning isn't the real problem, even though they sound like problems. The real problem is what is underneath. The real problem that we have, those of us who struggle with anxiety, is something underneath the anxiety. What is driving the anxiety? What is driving anxiety is the thoughts that you're thinking. And sometimes we're not aware of the thoughts. In fact, that's what's happening most of the time, that you're not aware of the thoughts that you're thinking. You're not aware of the thoughts that are driving your behavior. We're not aware of them. We don't know that the thoughts underneath all of these behaviors are what is the problem. Those thoughts are the problem. Those are limiting beliefs, and they're negative thoughts, and they don't serve us. They're serve us. They don't serve us. So they're limiting and they're negative, and they don't serve us. So what we need to do is identify those thoughts. We need to figure out what those thoughts are, and then we remove them. And we remove those thoughts from our brains. We take them away from our minds. We eliminate them. We banish them. We eradicate them. We smash them. We get rid of them once and for all, because those thoughts are the things that are causing the problems. Those thoughts are what is causing the dread. Those thoughts are what is causing the panic attacks and the anxiety, those anxious feelings, those anxious moments, those anxious days. So when we get underneath all of that and we find the thoughts, we take them out and we put in better thoughts, healthy thoughts, and healing thoughts. And all of this is what I do in my practice. I'm a rapid transformational therapy practitioner. And right now I am working with women eradicating self-doubt and anxiety. What I used to do, for those of you who might still be following me, it's taken a while to get back on here, is I used to help people get a good deep sleep. And of course, if you're still interested in that, I'm happy to sign you up. We can sign you up for a free call, a free strategy call, where we just talk about what it is that is expected of you and what is expected of me. I talk about the programs that I offer. So in my YouTube, on my YouTube page, which is down below, you'll see some information about where you can click on a link. But let me tell you first about rapid transformational therapy. It was started a long time ago by a very well-known hypnotherapist named Marissa Peer. Feel free to Google her. She's all over the internet. She's all over social media, and she has an amazing practice. Actually, she doesn't see people one-on-one too much anymore because she's really busy doing a lot of other things. And one of the big things that she's doing is she is training people like me to help those of us in the world who have anxiety. Anxiety is on the rise, by the way. I'll just digress a little bit and talk about how anxiety is just going through the roof with so many people. So that's why I'm here. I'm really excited about doing this work, helping people get to the root cause of their anxiety. And that's what I mean by going underneath. We go underneath the anxiety, we go underneath the heart palpitations, we go underneath the breathlessness, we go underneath the dread to find out what is the root cause of our anxiety. So there's that. But Marissa actually was a very successful hypnotherapist for over 30 years. She is based in both London and LA. And so she spends time in both places. And she's established this school called the Marissa Peer School, where she does all these trainings. And in addition, she's written some books. She's written many books. One of them is I Am Enough. And that, by the way, is one of the positive beliefs that we install when we do this work together one-on-one. And the limiting belief is I am not enough. So check out for yourself if that's something that's going on for you. I am not enough. I'm just not good enough at my business. I'm just not good enough. I'm just not good enough at my job. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not strong enough. I can't lift enough weight. I'm not sexy enough. I'm not skinny enough. There are many, many reasons why we think we are not enough. Women are plagued by so many. I mean, first, my hair isn't blonde enough. I'm not skinny enough. My belly's not flat enough. I don't have a good ass. Things like that. But then you can also just feel a lot of situational anxiety, and we can feel like we're not good enough if we go out dancing and we think we're not a good enough dancer. Or if we're socializing, and you might think, well, I'm not a good enough, I don't know how to interact socially. I'm totally terrified of other people. I'm not good enough in social situations. There's so many different triggers that we have that can prompt the anxiety. And sometimes if you're like me, we start to really spiral out of control. We start to decompensate and things just get worse and worse. They go from bad to worse. And I know totally what's that like. And I want to talk just for a few minutes about what it's costing you. What is the anxiety costing you? Are you able to have a peaceful and calm discussion with friends or family without feeling like you're somehow not enough or your anxiety gets in the way? What about your primary relationship? If you're married or you have a partner, does your anxiety impact the quality of that relationship? Can you bring your authentic self to that relationship without feeling some degree of anxiety? What about the relationship that you have with yourself? Do you have a genuine, authentic relationship with yourself? Or does the anxiety somehow get in the way and somehow block that authentic relationship that you might have with yourself? What about your job performance? This I know well. This I know personally. Sometimes our anxiety really impacts our job performance to where we can't really do our jobs well. I was, for a very short time, I was a nurse and I wasn't able to do my job well. I made a couple of medication errors. And when you make even just one medication error, it causes extreme anxiety because that's not okay. And there are a lot of other things that happen as a result of the one error. So I know what it's like to be on the job and just feel all this anxiety. And it was getting in the way. It was blocking me of being successful. It was blocking me from being a good performer. It was blocking me, that anxiety, from being a good nurse, from being present to what I was doing. The anxiety was blocking me from being with my patients in an authentic way. So if this sounds interesting to you, certainly contact me. You can contact me through Facebook, through Messenger. You can contact me for a free strategy call. I'd love to talk with you about the work that we would do together. So anyway, lovely to be with you. Leave some comments. I'd love to find out who's watching. And thanks so much for watching up until the end. See you on the next video.